The breath changes the brain state. The only way to master your life is to also master your breath, which will then allow you to master your mind. So your brain waves really reflect the way in which you perceive life. And there's different brain wave states. We are going to mention them, not going deeper, but just to mention them. The first one is beta state. This is the mind that consistently is processing data and thoughts. This is the busy mind in which you are doing everything. You are thinking all the time consistently. Then we have the alpha state, which is more a relaxed state in which you connect with your intuition. You are more creative and it is more relaxed. The next one is the theta, and this goes into a more intuitive state, more a healing state where the parasympathetic system comes online. Then you go deeper into a state of more relaxation, and this is the delta state. This is very still. This is the place where you can go out of the body and do astral travel. It is considered a deep and restorative brainwave state. It occurs during deep sleep or deep meditation. And this is when there's a more healing state that is happening through the parasympathetic nervous system that comes online. Sometimes when we do meditations and people think that they fall asleep, they go into that state. This is not that you are falling asleep. This is that you go into a deep brain state in which so much healing is occurring. This is a good sign. Even sometimes we don't like it. We think that we have slept. And we know that is not true, because before the end of the meditation, you are awake again. It is not that after the meditation, you don't even hear me. It is that you are awake before we close down. So the energy was so powerful that you were able to go into that state of pure healing. The next level, more profound, or this time is higher frequency. It is called gamma, and it is associated with heightened perception and consciousness. And this breath has a profound ability to connect with the spiritual practice and transform and heal the body. So healing of the body can come into a whole brain state, cohesion with the heart. And breath is what helps you to do that. That breath can transform your life. So when you understand how to breathe deeply into your being, you are revitalizing your body, your spirit, your soul. And you can use breath work to untrain your mind, to shift the brain state that will reflect how you perceive every situation in life. So breathe help you to transform and heal situations, because the air is a purifying element. When you work with the breath, you cleanse the impurities inside of you. You cleanse the mind and how you process information, and the information that gets stagnant in your body. You create a whole brain state when you are unifying the mind and the heart and bringing this whole brain state. So when you activate the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system, they align them together and create this centralized nervous system response to induce you into a whole brain state. And the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, they synchronized, and you access higher brainwave patterns. So start every day with your breath, and then be aware and conscious of how are you breathing. Is your breath shallow? Because if your breath is shallow, you then do not detoxify your lungs. You do not detoxify your mind. Your mind doesn't come into stillness, and you live your life from a level of more superficial way. when you breathe deeply, this is when you go deep within. This is when you are able to detoxify the lungs, when you can come into stillness, when the mind can stop. The only way to master life is to also master your breath. That will allow you to master the mind. And this is where you come into a stillness. So breathe creates this beautiful link between the inner reality and the outer reality. The only way to master your life is when your breath allows you to master your mind that is not running or chasing or trying to become something, but simply breathing and coming into that state of stillness. And also, there's a profound science with around breath. We are going to share a little bit. Breath links to the universal force of life. In antiquity, it was known that the last breath from your last incarnation connects to your first breath of your next incarnation. When a baby is born with the first breath, life starts with a breath that comes in, the prana, the chi, that is coming into the energetic field, that is taken into the energetic body and starts mapping out through the circulatory system that are the nadis and the meridians, that are like the branches of the tree where all the information is held. When the baby takes the first breath, there's a snapshot of the stars that all this information comes into the physical body. All the information passed down and gets rewired into the meridians, the nadis, all the internal parts that holds the record of the soul. So everything that was not completed in the last incarnation, it comes to the next incarnation to be completed in this lifetime. We cannot escape our experiences. That's why it's so important, the birth chart and astrology, because every planet has a specific influence on you from the first breath. So as the breath comes in with a snapshot of the stars, the planets themselves are playing a significant role in which they are interfacing. So the characteristics of each planet affects you and the parts of your being, because the different planets are held in the entire palm of your hand, on your feet, on your teeth, in every places of your body hold the different aspects. So they determine the way that happens in your life, what happens in your life, what you see, how you see the world, how the world sees you, the destiny of your path, that is a potential way in which you can walk on. How are you being? What are your experiences? What are your challenges? What are your gifts? There's so much that you can receive around that. Astrology is the way in which everything moves through cycles that impact the cycles of the planet, the cycles of your emotions, the cycles of our life. And each one of those planets represents an archetype that is held within your own psyche.